Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bow and Arrow Tarot and today's pick a card reading. Who's thinking about you right now? So today we're going to take a look at someone in your life that you may not know is thinking about you. What their energy is right now, why they're thinking about you, their connection to you, and what advice Spirit has for you going forward. Remember, these messages are timeless, so they reach you whenever you're meant to receive them. So take a moment to just relax, take a deep breath, and allow your intuition to draw you to the pile that calls to you the most. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. Timestamps are below, and if you need a minute to pause the video, this is a perfect time. So let's just jump right into the reading for pile number 1. Welcome to the reading for pile number 1. Let's just jump right into it. Who is this person thinking about you? The healer. This person is resonating with healing qualities. What other energy do they bring? Knight of Wands, so a lot of fire is there. What else do we have? And a Page of Pentacles, a desire to start something. Why are they thinking about you? They want communication. They're thinking about talking to you, reaching out to you. What other energy do we have? Another Page of Pentacles. So definitely someone who's trying to start something with you, right? And a Two of Cups. Wow. There is a love connection here. This is definitely someone who wants to communicate and make a connection. What does Spirit have to say? It's all about receptivity. Are you receptive to this person? And what spirits do we have? Spirit of the Crow and Spirit of the Dummy. Wow. All right. Remember, we are going to go much deeper with clarifiers and other oracle decks, as well as pulling the zodiac runes at the end of the reading. So let's just jump right into the healer. This person is got some beautiful sort of healing energy, water energy. Healers always associated with a little bit of water energy. This is someone who brings a vibe of being able to provide to you exactly what is needed at any given time to help you heal from a wound. What other energy are they bringing? The Knight of Wands and Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they are fiery though, right? So with that healing energy, this is someone who generally will bring healing to a situation, to a person, right? Or a relationship through that fire, through that energy that they have. They're probably someone who's very passionate, someone who really revels in doing creative things. They're always taking the lead. Hey, let's go do this or let's go do that. But something about being with this person is extremely refreshing. You find yourself feeling better. You find yourself being able to sort of deal with certain things a little bit easier, and slowly the healing begins. So it's all about this person's sort of energy that they bring. Page of Pentacles really shows that they are right now at a stage in their life where they want to build something. You know, they're ready to lay that first brick, right? And so when we talk about who's thinking about you, this person is thinking about you right in the middle of a stage where they're planning the next steps of their future. Right? Again, healer energy is lovely energy to be around, especially when we're talking about a love connection, because this type of person is always, you know, this is a light energy that always wants to bring sort of a unified energy, a unified vibe to a relationship, always wants to make sure that you are operating from a position of inclusion and love and healing, right? Something that promotes healing rather than pain. So this is just generally someone who has a very nice energy. So let's go a little bit deeper. Yeah, they have a love energy about them. Lovers, wow. They bringing, and the Queen of Wands, they have so much experience in the area of love and relationships and sort of bringing the type of care to a relationship that opens up the heart, opens up the throat chakra, the heart chakra. These are all of the things that are part of the kit that a healer uses. And this person in particular, again, with that Queen of Wands, very fiery person, extremely creative, but also just really, really wise and experienced, very understanding. And you're on their mind, right? And they have lover's energy on their mind. They want to build towards a love connection. And they're very sort of active about it. This person is the one who's probably going to make the move first when it comes to instigating any kind of connection with you, if they haven't already. So what are they thinking? They're thinking they want to communicate with you. So this person, it feels to me, is right now, the two of you may not be talking for whatever reason. We're going to pull another card to see what that's all about, but you may not be communicating right now. And they're really thinking about, okay, how do I take the first step to communicating with you, and there may be an aspect of this relationship that kind of needs healing, right? And so not only are they kind of resonating with that energy, but they're specifically bringing that energy to this connection. This may be someone you haven't spoken to in a while because of a rift or a wound. Page of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Yeah, they want to build a relationship with you. And I would say with some of you, it feels like they want to build a relationship with you again, right? So there's, it's undeniable what flipped over. 10 of Wands. There we go. What's the connection here? I was exactly getting ready to pull that card. So there was a burden here. I do believe for some of you, there has been some past here with this person where burdens got in the way of the relationship, right? A lot of burden, a lot of obligations. There was something holding them back, I think, from really giving it their all. Let's pull a Saturn card to see what was blocking here. Because with those two Page of Pentacles, it really, they really want to sort of start from scratch again. They may come to you and they may say things like, hey, can we just start over? Please, can we just start over? Can we just heal the rift that we have? Can we, so many things are gone now, everything that was holding me back. Let's pull that Saturn. Isolation. They were isolated. Interesting. Saturn in Virgo energy. What had been blocking them before, I want to say to a certain degree, may have been a perfectionist attitude that kept them very isolated or unable to progress or compromise in this connection. I pulled that because the two of you definitely were connected. It does feel like the two of you, this is not like a stranger to you. The two of you had a connection, but again, there was so much holding this person back that involved hang-ups, ideas, I want to say even habits that they were exhibiting, right? That they were used to sort of behaving and sort of taking on. And it just drove a wedge between the two of you, maybe caused distance. I think that this person as well probably was quite isolated in and of themselves. But now they're fully coming out. A lot of fires here. I wouldn't be surprised if this person, they're thinking so hard about communicating with you that I wouldn't be surprised if this person reaches out to you with an email, a text, a phone call. They're going to definitely be actively sort of, taking the next steps, right? Right now, they're just thinking about it, thinking about how do I begin, how do I start? But they're going to be taking the next steps because Lover, Two of Cups, they desire you so much. They desire another chance. And whatever was holding them back, whatever that they were dealing with in the past or before this stage that was isolating them from you and from really their life, all of that is over. For some of you, they may even talk to you about what that was, right? What was it that was holding them back? Let me get one more card. I'm very curious Because the Saturn and Virgo energy, that isolative energy was the blockage, right? But what, a couple cards flipped over. Let's see. New path, money. Money was involved, a heartache, and wanting to move past it all. Yeah, Five of Cups. They miss you very much. I would say for some of you, what had really been a burden was financial issues, right? And over focus or hyper focus on holding on to their finances or holding on to some sort of material sort of possession or position. And that really was what they were carrying, which ultimately caused this isolation, caused whatever to happen here that they want to now come back from. Six of Swords is there and Chariot. So it really lets you know that they're ready to leave the turmoil of the past behind. So there was a lot of turmoil, a lot of arguing, I think perhaps a lot of conflicting ideas, sort of unwilling to compromise again. That's all behind them, right? So something definitely gave, something's got to give. Something gave with this person. And now they are fully sort of focused on the future, and their future is all about being able to communicate with you again. So what does Spirit have to say about all of this? This is all about receptivity. Are you receptive to this person coming in? Are you receptive to the healing energy that they want to bring to this relationship? Because it's not going to happen unless you also want it to happen. So Spirit is letting you know that that's what, you really need to think about going forward. How open are you going to be to this person coming in and wanting to heal this rift? Do you miss them as much as they miss you? Now, that doesn't always track. Sometimes someone can change their mind about their attitudes or sort of their actions, and they want to come in, they want to make amends. Certainly this person feels so strongly about having a future, Chariot and Lovers, with you as a love connection. But if you're not willing and able and receptive, it's not going to work. Spirit of the Crow and Spirit of the Dummy. Spirit of the Crow, prophecy, messages, bad news for some, right? The Crow is really synonymous with, messages from our guides, our ancestors, messages from the unseen, coming in, this, prophecy, being able to sort of kind of see what's about to come down the road or come around the corner. Spirit of the Dummy is their clueless follower. There is that energy there. I wonder how that plays out into this. There's a sort of a feeling here of this will require you to be very, very active. And for your person as well, even though they want to come back in, they're going to have to pay a lot of attention to where you are at right now. I do feel like there's been quite some time here. There's been quite some time where the two of you have been not in communication. So it's interesting, you want to, again, as Spirit says, being receptive, it really depends. This person is going to actively want to communicate and make, touch base with you and try to see what they can do to begin to heal this rift. But at the same time, this energy of clueless, have they really clued in? Have they really learned something over this period? Or do they continue to be sort of still missing the point when it comes to whatever rift there was in this connection to begin with? So again, you won't know unless you are receptive to them. So I'm curious for some of you if you are indeed receptive to this person coming back in. Now let's go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes and see what kind of zodiac signs you might be dealing with. Some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. Put that right there. Some of you are dealing with an Aries. Some of you are dealing with an Aquarius, air energy, 2 fire and an air, and some of you are dealing with that Gemini. So 2 air signs, Aquarius and Gemini, and 2 fire, Sagittarius and Aries. That is the zodiac energy that is resonating with this reading, it may be in your person's chart, it may be in your chart, and you'll see how that resonates for you. And that is the end of the message for pile number 1. I hope it resonated. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight. If it did resonate, you're going to know exactly who this person is without a doubt. They are very, very specific and particular type of individual. And you're going to know right away once they make that connection with you and reach out and communicate, probably remembering this reading as soon as they do that. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this pile. If you feel called to stay with me for pile number 2, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 2. We're going to get right into it. Who is this person? The Judge. This person that's thinking about you resonates with Judge energy. We have as well 5 of Cups, so they miss you terribly right away. And 7 of Wands. Wow, standing up, valor, courage. Why are they thinking about you? Deal breakers is at issue. Wow, we're going to get deeper into all of this. What else do we have here? An 8 of Swords. Unable to make the right decision, right? Chariot energy, moving forward in a whole new direction. Interesting. So what does Spirit have to say? Awareness. Right now, Spirit wants you to know that awareness is very important in this connection. And spirits of darkness and light, we have Spirit of the Elephant and Spirit of the Wind. Community, right? Companionship, solidarity, and Spirit of the Wind, of course, is activity, developments, right? Movement, action. All right. Don't forget, we are going to go much deeper with clarifiers. And at the end of the reading, we're going to go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes to see what kind of zodiac signs are associated with your message. So right away, let's just get into it. Who is this person thinking about you? They're the Judge. This is an interesting sort of archetype and character. Someone who resonates with this, they could go either way. They could either be someone who is an advocate, who has strong discernment and comes from a place of love, or they can be someone who is overly critical of others and unfair, right? Discriminatory, right? The Judge is a very difficult energy to sort of balance. You always have to pay attention to what position you're moving from. And so right away, I can see right ahead that this person has been overcritical with you about something. As we see ahead, deal breakers. We'll talk about that when we get there. But something has happened, right? They have realized that maybe they were too judgmental because right now they are missing you terribly. 7 of Wands, 5 of Cups. They're trying to put a good face on it. They're trying to show courage and stand by their decision, but secretly they really, really miss you. And I think that they feel as though that they may have made a mistake. Yeah, that's the energy all over it. I'm going to tell you why when we get to this section. But first of all, let's carry on with some more clarifiers here. I want to know a little bit more about what was the cause. What's the cause of this 5 of Cups energy as it ties to the Judge? Yeah, balancing finances and a wish fulfillment. Yeah, they may have been overly critical about money. They may have been overly judgmental about perhaps work that you did or the way you handled your finances, right? They may have been overly critical about you sort of fulfilling their wishes, right? Things weren't good enough, right? There's a lot going on. And at the same time, I feel like this person, there was a time where what this person desired was unrealistic, and trying to keep up with it, trying to keep up with them and their wishes and their desires was just chaotic and sort of constantly juggling, just as you see, just constantly having to, run from pillar to post to sort of satisfy this person because they really I do feel this energy coming off of that judge, that they just wanted something. They wanted a wish. They had a certain desire for the way they wanted things to go, or the way they wanted a particular energy to go between the two of you. And somewhere along the line, we have a deal breaker. So why are they thinking about you right now? Because I think they miss you, and they realize that there was something that happened that they considered a deal breaker because they were hypercritical. That's that judge energy, right? And they probably said, there's a feeling here of them saying to themselves, oh, well, this is a deal breaker. There's a very gruff energy here. There's a feeling of sort of dismissive. They were very harsh and very quick to dismiss. And as we see with these energies here, Eight of Swords and Chariot, they really weren't thinking clearly. Listen, this smacks of somebody who was really caught up in sort of maybe even an extreme way of thinking, an extreme sort of belief that they were holding on to. They were very much imprisoned. That Eight of Swords talks about somebody who's really not really not in touch with their heart and their emotions, right? They're really kind of imprisoned in these like ridiculous ideas about people, about life. This is an extremist energy here, or an energy of someone, again, who really is not realistic in the way they see the world and the way they fit in it, the way others fit in it, and mostly because they have allowed themselves to be sort of tied up in knots with a certain way of thinking. Chariot energy is there though, right? So right away, it feels like there's something breaking through here. Let's go ahead and pull another card for connection, because it feels like something is breaking through that is mostly because they miss you so much. I think the energy here, it feels very much like, at the time when they were really embodying the dark side of the judge, right? I think, sometimes people make decisions about relationships. They're like, I'm done and I'll be happy, but then they're not. Then they're not happy. They miss you. And they're desperately trying to, say everything's fine, nothing's bothering me, all of this energy coming towards me that's trying to bring me down as a result of my decision. I'm cool. Look at me. I'm zen. I stick by my position. Seven of Wands generally is an energy of valor and courage and standing your ground. But here it feels very much like they're standing their ground only out of pride, realizing that deep down inside they really, really miss you. And they miss what they had with you. What do we have? Two of Pentacles flipped over. That was in the deck already flipped over again. That's the connection. Too much going on. That was the deal breaker here, and also the connection between the two of you and what happened. Again, a Two of Pentacles here, Two of Pentacles here. Too much going on, juggling too many responsibilities, too many jobs, right? Too many obligations. And that was a deal breaker. You may have had other obligations in your life that this person was very hypercritical of, unwilling to sort of make room for. They wanted things a certain way, and they didn't get it. But now, oftentimes the consequence of that is maybe waking up a little bit here to the fact that, well, okay, at the time I was very harsh and I kind of broke the tie. But what I suffer now in missing them, missing your energy, being next to you, it's not worth it, right? It's not been worth it. And also, I think there's a realization here that, let's pull a Saturn card to see what's blocking them. A realization that they were just overly critical. On top of missing you and sort of now being in a position where they're heartbroken, they're also kind of realizing that maybe they were just also plain wrong, right? So let's see, what's their Saturn to block? Ostentatious, that's what it is. So when we talk about what I said, juggling responsibilities, finances, material things, responsibility, obligations, what blocks this person is someone who is really overly sort of focused and obsessed with ostentation, right? With the way the world sees them, with their brand, with the way, with their own portrayal of themselves, their own characterization of themselves. They want to portray a very wealthy, with it sort of energy and an over the top energy of having things. Specifically with this Saturn and Taurus, we're dealing with somebody who really judges others, can oftentimes judge others if they don't dress the right way, if they don't show that they have a certain amount of money or influence, or they're certain part in society, at a certain level in society, can be very, very judgmental of somebody who has less than them, right? Very material energy. This is Earth. Taurus is Earth. And oftentimes Taurus really, really loves beauty and success and luxury. But when we have it as a blockage here, this is very much, I think, what led to this deal breaker here. And now they're thinking about you, and they're thinking about that decision. More than anything, they are thinking about the decision that they made to break things off, right? That's what they're thinking about. Let me get just a few more cards. I want to know just a little bit more about that Eight of Swords and Chariot, because why is it that now they have this desire of wanting to move forward? Right now, they're really caught up in feeling sort of sorry for themselves for the decisions that they've made. But I want to see, Six of Swords, King of Swords, and Eight of Moons. They're going to want to know if there's a chance with you again, I think. Yeah. Right? They're moving Six of Swords. I think they've been really caught up in a very chaotic lifestyle. For some of you, you're dealing with somebody who is caught up in a social scene or a lifestyle or a group even of people that were very sort of dark in their thinking. And ultimately, they're probably not only did this person kind of realize that they made the wrong decision with you, I think they also kind of realized in general that a particular sort of part of their life was not good, was not coming from light and coming from love. They were surrounding themselves with negative people. Absolutely. And I'm sure there's a feeling here of them eventually arguing with their own sort of so-called friends as well. This person was in a very dark space with a lot of dark people around them. And a lot of that is what's led to this judge energy that they adopted. And I think coming out of it, they're realizing, wow, I don't want this. So they're moving away. Six of Swords, absolutely realizing, waking up, moving away from this environment of turmoil and strife. And now they're thinking very much, oh man, what I thought was a deal breaker, and through all of this kind of, I want to say, brainwashing, they almost feel like they were brainwashed. I think they're waking up. Again, very specific message, right? This person is realizing that they made decisions in their recent past, one of which involved you and a connection with you that was so overly the top, critical, unfair, unrealistic, and now they're dealing with the consequences of it. However, this King of Swords, someone is come in to really set them straight. King of Swords, it may be that a friend of theirs, it feels even like it could be a family member or a friend of theirs or someone in their life that's outside of all of this that really came in and kind of woke them up and set them straight. And now they're looking back, they miss you. They miss you very much, and they're hoping to God, is there something left in that cup that I can sort of revive? Right now, though, this is possibly to come. Right now, they're really caught up in the consequence of their decision with you, and they're still kind of mopey. But they're thinking about you a lot. Awareness, right? So Spirit says, be aware, right? Be aware of, the actions that people are taking around you. Be aware that, you may indeed hear from this person or certainly hear from someone connected to the both of you. But in general, Spirit, take it as it comes. Spirit is telling you right now, your superpower is awareness, staying awake, paying attention. Spirit of the elephant and spirit of the wind. So spirit of the elephant is all about community, companionship, being social. And the spirit of the elephant brings the kind of community that is healing and helpful and full of love. Not the type of community that sort of beats you down into this really unconnected, lost place where you make really bad decisions, cut off people, cut off the wrong people, all of that. Spirit of the elephant, good, healthy, strong companionship, community, and social connection is coming in. And that may indeed be a healing moment for your person, but certainly it's something that factors in here. Spirit of the wind, activity, movement, right? Disruption. So yeah, there's a huge disruption, I think, that comes in. Again, Chariot, this person very, very much wants to try again with you. Or certainly, I don't know if they want to try again with you, but they certainly want to start a whole new path. They're still kind of licking their wounds. So they're not at that space where they've accepted that they might want to try again. They may not even believe that they have a chance to try again with you, but they certainly have woken up. And specifically how much they're missing you and you're on their mind, they're thinking about you, has helped them to really wake up to the fact that they have to go down a different path in their life. At some point, if they're ready to try again, make amends, or at least apologize for the way they stepped off, they may do so. Some of you are dealing with a Cancer. Let's start pulling out these zodiac runes. Some of you are dealing with a Pisces. More water. Some of you are dealing with a Virgo, Earth, and some of you are dealing with another Earth sign, Capricorn. Yeah, that makes sense. Earth and that ostentatious energy is a big blocker for this person. Again, their desire to be sort of popular and that's part of that ostentation. That desire is one of the things that kind of was a stumbling block here, but they're definitely waking up to that. And more than anything, it's just simply the fact that no matter what their decisions, they have missed you so much, and someone has come in to really set them straight. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This has been the message for pile number 2 for today's Pick a Card, Who's Thinking About You. If it resonated with you, let us know. I'm really curious about this one. This is a very specific message. Now, if you feel called to stay with me for pile number 3, let's get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 3 for today's Pick a Card. Let's just jump right into it. Who is the person thinking about you? The sustainer. This is somebody who has an immense amount of endurance and drive. They're coming in with the Chariot. Interesting. Chariot showed up for all 3 piles today. 6 of Wands of victory, some fire and passion, certainly a public victory. Why are they thinking about you? They want to be your Mr. or Miss Fix-It. Interesting. Mr. or Miss Fix-It. What other energy is coming? A choice. Definitely, I feel like that resonates for you. There's definitely a choice that this person is presenting to you, an option, and a 10 of Wands, talking about laying down, things that have been holding you back. A choice, an option to lay down things that have been holding you back. What does Spirit have to say? Cultivation is important. The time that you put in. Right? This is all about putting that energy in for the payoff in the long run. And spirits of darkness and light, spirit of enchantment, and spirit of the sun. So enchantment, of course, is a temporary captivation. And spirit of the sun, we talk about a resurrection, vitality, energy. This is a very lovely, interesting reading. Definitely a choice on the horizon, but we're going to get into all of that. We'll be pulling clarifiers and more cards to see deeper into the message. And don't forget, at the end, we will be pulling out the zodiac runes. But for now, let's get right into who this person is, the sustainer. The sustainer is somebody who has, as I said, a lot of endurance and wisdom. Endurance, wisdom, understanding. They know how to sort of stick through the difficult times, right? So a sustainer is somebody who can just keep it up. They have an immense amount of patience. You know, along with that endurance is sort of the patience to keep going, to keep trying, right? To sustain a certain situation or a certain outlook, a certain environment, a relationship. This is just somebody who is very dedicated and in it for the long haul. Oftentimes, somebody who resonates with this kind of energy is someone who's not going to quit, easily, right? They're going to be able to keep up. They're going to be able to keep up working towards a particular objective. The Chariot and Six of Wands. As I said, the Chariot showed up in some way in all three readings today. So new beginnings and new chapters are definitely part of the through theme for today's pick a card. And this person is no different. They are in the middle of a big life change, a big new chapter kind of happening, a whole new path that they're taking. And it's coming on the heels of a victory. So something that they've been working towards, they have succeeded. And it's no surprise because someone who resonates with sustainer energy generally is somebody who will find a victory at some point because they have the ability to keep on fighting for something, working towards something. So this is the energy they're at. This is quite beautiful. This is where they're at right now. And again, a conscientious desire to start a whole new life on the back of the Six of Wands. So before we move on, let's get a little bit of clarifier. I want to know what they won. What's the Six of Wands energy all about? Oh, Three of Swords flipped over, so I'm going to keep that. And I pulled the Seven of Pentacles. Wow. So, yeah, what happened is a public victory because this person definitely went through some kind of heartache or betrayal, right? But guess what? They're the sustainer. They're the person who's able to sort of keep themselves motivated, stay in the good fight, as it were. And they kept on working. Putting their head down, very sort of practical, grounded way. And now they are harvesting from all of their work. And that harvest is allowing them to start a new life. I feel like this person was able to probably recently realize gain, like financial gain from a lot of hard work that they've put in. And this is on the back of a betrayal. That Three of Swords there. So somebody really hurt them. Right? And oftentimes when somebody betrays you, or depending on the nature of the betrayal, right, there will be some who don't want to see you succeed. They want to see you they may want, or they may be surprised, let's put it like this, that they may be surprised that despite the heartache and the pain you have endured, and that's what your person has done. This person who's thinking about you has done that. Now, this is very separate from their energy with you. This is just laying out where they are in their lives. You, however, this is what they're bringing to this. Mr. Fix-It. They want to be a Mr. Fix-It for you, Here it says, don't try to fix others, heal yourself. But I believe this is exactly what this person has done, right? They have tried to heal themselves, but now they are looking perhaps to try and offer you something similar or the same. There is a connection here with you. Let's get that connection first before we move on. I'm quite curious. Because as I say, all of this energy here, very different to the other pile readings. This is just setting up the scene for the person that you're dealing with and why they're coming to this connection with this energy. They want something new. They've survived a heartache. They've survived a betrayal. Maybe somebody cheated on them in the past, or there was a very difficult relationship that they had to get through, break up, get through the breakup of, or the rift, whatever the case is, it was very hurtful, right? So it was a heartache for sure. But they kind of came through this, and now they're ready to sort of take on something really healthy. So we have King of Swords. Wow, they are bringing knowledge. Yeah, the connection here is that they really want to bring a sense of clarity, and I want to say form. I want to form sort of order. They want to bring a sense of order to whatever is going on with you. They want to bring that. They want to make themselves useful to you. They want to fix something. Now, when we get into this, and it's interesting that this is their connection. So somewhere along the line, the two of you already have a connection. They can see something in you that they want to help you with. Now, here we have that Ten of Wands and Two of Swords. There's a feeling here that you are carrying a lot of responsibility. You may have been carrying a lot around with you that is no longer serving you, that maybe has been holding you back. You may feel obligated to someone else. You may be in a connection with someone else or connected to either friends or family. There is some kind of weight that you have that has become unbearable to a degree, right? And there's also an option and a choice. And I think that this is what this person wants to offer you, this option now to help, to bring their clarity to your situation, to help whatever it is that you are carrying, the burden. And I think that it's because they themselves have come through somewhat of a similar situation. It may indeed be that, let's get some more clarifiers. It may indeed be that you are in a similar situation to where your person has been in, and they can see that. So let's go ahead. You know what? Before I do that, let me pull the block. I want to see what's blocking here. This Ten of Wands energy. Ostentatious. Yeah, this is interesting. This came up for the other readings as well. So the blockage here is this need to sort of fulfill an image, or to portray to the world very much that everything is financially secure. There's a lot of responsibility that you're carrying in that regard. And this is one of the stumbling blocks here. This is something that connects the two of you. I think there may indeed be for you, it could even be cultural family that is putting pressure, that exerts some pressure on you to fulfill a certain image or a certain expectation that they have on you. And this involves, a lot of financial responsibility. A lot of financial responsibility and material sort of responsibility. And it's very overwhelming. And this person is able. They also have some material, financial support that they can bring in. They have recently very much sort of harvested from their own garden that they've invested in and worked towards. So they not only bring wisdom and clarity, they also bring some financial support. And so it's quite interesting. This person is thinking about you very, very much in this regard. And they're saying, look, let me help you. But for some reason, this choice is difficult. So let's now get into some clarifiers to see, why is this choice so difficult to make? It almost feels like, there's some kind of familial obligation. There's another Ten of Wands. Wow. Page of Swords. Yeah, you lack the confidence and people are telling you you can't do it. Yes. So there's a fear here of being alone. there's a fear here that if you turn your back on your family or some of these perceived obligations that you may be on your own, left alone. Page of Swords energy, there's a feeling here that you're only just now beginning to find your confidence to stand up for yourself and to see things with clarity. Eight of Swords, there's been a lot of pressure put on you to a degree where, sometimes it almost seems as though you can't really see anymore, where you end and they begin. In as much as I feel like you are probably in a situation right now where you've been put under so much pressure from those around you, so much expectation. It does feel like it's family or friends, very deeply cultural perhaps, or your friend circle. You don't want to be sort of ostracized, right? You don't want to be the odd one out. You don't want to be the one that maybe is not living up to those expectations, but yet it's become very overwhelming. Hermit is not only there because I feel like there's a sense that you may fear being on your own by cutting some of these ties and finally saying no to people like, look, I can't be what you want me to be. Also, at the same time, the Hermit brings wisdom and teaching and guidance. It's your inner desire, choice, and light that should guide you. And sometimes that does require you to be on your own. Nevertheless, this person who has so much patience and endurance and strength really wants to come in as a support and help. And it's really, up to you. What does Spirit say? Cultivation. It takes a little bit, You have to pay attention and nurture something for it to grow. And it's time, certainly it feels like this person is giving you an option, right? They're giving you an option or an opportunity to cultivate something step by step with them that will free you out of this kind of space, right? That will free you up and allow you to be reinvigorated. That's why we use Spirit of Enchantment, Spirit of the Sun. This is interesting. It's almost as if there's a spell. There is spell at play, spell work, almost captivation, because it does feel like there is an aspect of your life here, as I said, either family, friends, or your social circle, your cultural circle, that kind of has you sort of under the spell of believing, that you have to do certain things perhaps, or maybe not even that, just putting that sort of expectation, that pressure, right? You may not believe that, but it's that pressure. When people you care about put pressure on you, they may be playing guilt trips on you, right? They may be perpetrating a situation where they're like, look, we really need you. Without you, we can't survive, sort of thing, right? So there's a lot of enchantment at play here, and not in the light way. Spirit of Sun, energy, vitality, resurrection. And yet there is a chance, an opportunity here with this person who kind of has gone, I feel like almost has gone through a similar thing, realizing, that it's really down to you to make sure that you are living the life you want to, that, they bring some understanding to you, some insight, and a sort of resurrection and vitality here of you sort of breaking free, being allowed to really express yourself. It's beginning to happen anyway because of that confidence that you're starting to have coming in for yourself. Now, let's go ahead and get into the zodiac signs. What zodiac signs are you resonating with, or your person? Some of you have Libra energy. Some of you have Scorpio energy. Wow, strong. Or your person, right? This could be for you, your person. Take it as it comes. Some of you are resonating with Taurus energy, strong earth. And some of you are resonating with Leo, or your person is. That was that energy here, that spirit, that Saturn and Taurus. So Taurus is strong here. this is the message, all right? So this is the end of the message for pile number 3 and the guidance that Spirit has for you. I hope it resonated and gave you something to think about, a particular situation that you're connected to with someone in your life who really wants to come in and help, all right? That's the overall message. And it's all about cultivating that connection with them. So if you resonated, go ahead and let us know. Let the collective know. But for right now, I just want to thank you for joining me today, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for this Pick a Card, Who's Thinking About You. I wish you all love, life, and happiness, and I hope to see you right back here for your next Pick a Card Love Tarot reading. Bye-bye, everyone.